Today's video, I'll repack that, are my front struts. These are the Rancho 2-inch quick lift, not quick lift, but the Rancho 2-inch leveling struts. Not Rancho, those are the rough country. I have the Ranchos, however, Illinois roads got the best of me and blew out my passenger side. This happened probably a few months ago because I've been riding on this for a couple months now, and it's just been progressively getting worse to the point where it feels like I have the death wobble because I'll hit a bump and it'll just keep riding out. It's not fun at highway speeds. So struts came in the mail the other day, which they got delivered to my neighbors, but whatever. So gonna remove all this, and another thing we're doing is the front hub actuators, but I'm probably gonna try and separate these into like 2 videos. So if you just want to watch for the actuators, I'll separate the actuators. As far as the struts go, so this is gonna be weird editing. Anyways, so for the struts, to remove them, it's gonna be this nut for the upper control arm, the nut here for the tie rod, and then the sway bar nut right here. And then we're going to disconnect the brake, well, not the brake lines, disconnect them, but just loosen them so they have room to extend out, and then undo the nut for the axle. And then this way this whole control arm assembly comes down, and then you got the 3 nuts up here and the bolt down here for the strut assembly. But I have videos of installing the front struts. All right, so about to throw the Rancho in, just got the rough country, about to put the rough country in, just took the Rancho out, and I thought the coil looked a lot different on the rough country. Yeah, the Ranchos are very similar to stock. Yes, I still have my original coil springs because I was gonna make like end tables out of them. I might still do the same thing with the Ranchos. So now I'm gonna have 2 of these. So yeah, I might make end tables out of these. I don't know. Polish them up, clean them up. But yeah, here are the rough countries. I think it's definitely gonna be a whole different ride because the coil seems a lot tighter. So we will see. Let me throw this in though. So I just torqued down all the bolts. By torqued down, I mean I took a breaker bar and tightened them really good. Not over tight, but before with the Ranchos, I did have an extra 1/2-inch spacer block in the strut to raise up the front end because I have the airlift in the rear. So unfortunately, I took them out because there was a back rake, a little lean, and didn't want that. But the front end still needs to settle down, but otherwise it should be fairly level once it settles down after we take a drive. But real quick, I don't know if I mentioned it already, but this piece did come loose and break off. Not really important, but it would have made rattling noises while driving and stuff. And this was on the driver's side, so I think the driver's side shock was about to go. So, all right, let's hop in the truck and see how these shocks feel. All right, so we got everything bolted, and I just remember the block is behind the rear tire. And ooh, that actually felt pretty nice so far. So weird because I'm trying to purposely hit potholes in rough road to really get a feel for these struts. But so we're in the truck now. So far the feeling of these struts, I'm actually really enjoying them over the Ranchos. So these are the rough country 2-inch levels for the, I believe, 04. They say 08 or 04 to 2019, when in all actuality it's only till 2013. So my year truck, because in 14 the suspension slightly changed. Instead of the bolt going through the strut at the bottom, it's actually 2 flat prongs that it bolts down to the lower control arm. They did that in 14 because then in 15, that's with the new body style, they put on a newer suspension. So the 14s and the 12th gen, my style, as the 13th gen suspension. So those Ranchos, I don't know how many miles I actually had on them when I pulled them off yesterday. I'll put that mileage in or somewhere on the screen because I'm currently at 120,000, just over, and I put them on around 100,000 miles, I think. Anyways, I'm going to put the mileage of when I put them on and how many miles I currently have on them. But we're getting to a stretch of road here that tends to be pretty bumpy, and with the old shocks, it would tear me up. So, but the GoPro also has stabilization, but you should hear it in my voice. Normally that stretch of road is pretty bad. Wasn't too bad with these shocks. It also doesn't help that I have the air ride and stiffer Bilstein shocks back there, but honestly that wasn't too bad. That was pretty smooth. We're gonna flip around and go back the other way because on the other side it's pretty rough there too. So let me do that. I'm at 120.202.1. So cool, we're at the red light, we're the first one, so this way I can get a real feel of the suspension at the speed that really jostles me around. So again, I'm going to be talking through this just because you might not be able to see it on camera, but you're going to hear it in my voice if I'm really getting thrown around. So that bump right there is very harsh, but the truck absorbed it very well. The front suspension wasn't chaotic because I would still be feeling it. Again, I'm trying to purposely hit these holes here for the purpose of the video, and like I said, you can hear it in my voice that I'm being bounced around, but it's settling very quickly. So I'm very happy with the rough countries, the ranchos. They had adjustable settings. I never really played with them too much, but when I first put them on, I even said in that video that I'm not a huge fan of ranchos, so we'll give them a shot. And I had a few comments and people telling me why would I do that. I'm like, I don't know, maybe they changed, because I used to have ranchos on my old truck. Not old truck, but my old truck. I had ranchos on that, and they didn't last very long either. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stay away from ranchos. Sorry, Rancho, this ain't a sponsored video by Rough Country. Most of my parts I buy, and if I don't buy it and somebody sends it to me, I tell you guys up front. But I'm gonna go find a really bad stretch. It's over train tracks. We're gonna see how that one fares. Hopefully I don't break these. I'll be back with you guys in a second. Wonderful, thank you.
Have a great one.
You too. People have coffee addictions. I have malt addictions. And yes, there's a difference between malt and a milkshake. So the speed limit on this road is 35. I'm gonna go close to the speed limit. My speedo is slightly off. And when I say this crossing is violent, it's violence. Everybody slows down to like a crawl when they go across these tracks. So I'm gonna go the speed limit and you're gonna see. Maybe, we'll see. Alright, I'm going about 35 to 30, 35, 37-ish. I'm gonna hit it dead on. I'm not gonna go anywhere across it. Oh, that wasn't that bad. Okay, so my front shocks were just completely dead. Excuse me. Okay, that wasn't that bad. Huh. So the shocks were just atrocious. Okay. So I know Rough Country kind of gets a lot of flack. I've heard the terms of Walmart brand lift kits, this and that, but if you're on a budget or you're just kind of looking for something that, like I said, budget. So if you're on a budget, you don't want to get this crazy coilover kit or whatever, you don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a level, and you just want to do a quick level kit. Yeah, there's the pucks, but honestly these ride pretty nicely. I've been driving around now for about 30-40 minutes, and I gotta say, pretty surprised by them. My one neighbor up the road actually has them on his truck. He's got a 2012 F150 crew cab, and he's got them. He likes them, so I was like, yeah, I'll give him a shot, why not? And I'm happy with them so far. But otherwise, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, and we'll catch you guys later.